Hi, this video is for week 14 discussions, and it's about the occupation of Alcatraz Island. And there are several questions. The first one is, what is the tone of Adam Fortunate Eagle in the document Native Americans Occupy Alcatraz? And I believe it was sarcasm. It reminded me of this other letter from our class in the beginning, and it was by a former slave answering a letter from his former slave owner, and it was just like this sarcastic but awesome letter, and it reminded me of that. The second question is, what are some of his frustrations with the quality of life on reservations? He literally gave us 10 reasons or like examples of his frustration. Some of them are no fresh running water, inadequate sanitation facilities, the soil is all rocky and non-productive, there are no educational facilities, it's isolated from modern facilities, and there's no transportation. These are just a few. And then let's see, the third one is of the proposals of how Alcatraz Island is to be used, which stood out to you the most and why? What really stood out to me was the third one, and let me check which one that one. It was an Indian Center of Ecology, and I really liked that because I felt it was a way to show the world that although Native Americans did not want to participate in becoming an American citizen, they, as their own people, as Native Americans, they wanted to still solve world problems as well, and not just like keep to themselves, but do good for all humanity in ways like depolluting air and water. And I just really like that, unlike what society and the government and all that wanted us to believe, they were not just content with living their own way of life, which was also, of course, very important to them, but also to participate in science and to participate in solving problems. And honestly, I just loved that, and I really loved that point. And then the fourth or fifth question is, if you were to occupy land based upon a political agenda, what would that agenda be? And what would be your vision for how this space ought to be utilized? Honestly, I would do it for the same reason. I feel like this was just an amazing cause. And although I wouldn't do it for the Alcatraz Island, because I felt like it was such a tiny island and it wasn't good for farming, it didn't have good land or any of this, I would still want to get land back to Native Americans. And I really liked how they how they utilized the space. So pretty much I would like to do very similar to what they did, but on better land that would be good for life in general. And then upon responding, and that was all. Thanks.